What's going on? Whatnot? How's everybody doing? What are you guys in the mood for? Fantastic Four, Marvel Silver Age. I got some bronze keys. Here. True Believers of Fantastic Four 48. I'll start at $3. There you go. It's a reprint of Fantastic Four 48.
It's slow, the sprites are too large, making you an easy target, and the item powers are ridiculous. You can get a guitar where Chester jams out for 10 seconds just to kill 1 or 2 enemies around it. Get it on a water stage and you can actually jam your way right into damage. Then there's the sunglasses, which reveal hidden items by, you guessed it, dimming the hell out of the screen.
What else are you guys interested
How did
in?
this seriously pass quality control testing? The visuals stink, the music sucks, and the stages become more and more tedious the deeper you get.
You guys like Deathstroke?
From the awkward
I got
mechanics
some
of climbing
Deathstroke.
vines to the actual stages that hide the enemies from you. This just descends into pure tedium after about 20 minutes or so. I never had high expectations for this one, but I did pick it up thinking it'd at least be something for the weekend. And if you last more than 2 or 3 stages, you're doing much better than I did. I was looking for something on the level of
Here,
Instead, I got this, a garishly bright gore fest that plays at a snail's pace. Save your money and go buy yourself another one of the dozen platforms for the Super Nintendo. Pretty much all of them are better.
Here we got Deathstroke issue 1.
Back in the day, Double Dragon was
2,
released for just about everything. If the console or computer
and
had
3.
no real standing in the industry, it got a port of it. Even the handhelds of the time got their own games. But I have to confess I was still shocked someone attempted a port of it to the Atari 2600. I mean, the platform had been long dead when Double Dragon
Started
was released
at,
in 1987.
$7.
The NES and Master System had replaced it, and those
Deathstroke
were the
1,
versions
2,
you wanted
3.
to play. Even though I had heard of it for years, I still never took the time to sit down and play it. Until now, in this very video. Yep, this is the first time I have ever really sit down and played
That
this
first
so
issue,
seriously.
I think that's like a
It
$20
quickly
book,
became
so
apparent why I
you get
had
2
no
and 3
desire
with
to
that. I
get
mean,
after
you're
it
getting a real
before.
good deal. They're all in high grade
Double Dragon is
condition.
awful in every way. I
So-
expected the sound and visual cutbacks. I mean, it's 1970s
Hey, good old B.
hardware after all.
Hey, NFL
The
Mockery.
gameplay is just vinegar on an open
How's it going,
and
guys?
festering wound of an experience. Any attempt to actually fight is met with immediate destruction by the ridiculous AI. After being annihilated numerous times, I realized the only thing
Not
you
interested,
can
I
do
guess.
is just constantly
All right.
elbow smash the computer to get anywhere. You could spam the elbow in other versions as well, but at least in those you could do other things to mix it up a little. You can argue all day about how this was impressive on a technical level because of the ancient hardware all you want. The end result is a poor playing experience that failed on every level to be the least bit fun. I'm no 2600 fan, so it might just be that kid in me that despised its mediocre arcade ports all those years ago still talking. But this game is just as much fun as those old Tiger handhelds, and that ain't saying much.
Comes a shopper for cookware.
All right, how about this? Fantastic Four, issue 62, first appearance of Blastar as a BG.
So the team at HexClad have basically took the best of all the pans on the market and combined it into a hybrid pan that I've found has replaced every other pan I've had in the kitchen. Stainless steel is great for searing and high temp sauteing. However,
Run it at
getting this the right temperature using the Leidenfrost test isn't common.
18
Getting
bucks.
this non-stick can be somewhat challenging. Cast iron is great for searing a steak and getting.
Hey, Doom Kid 12. Hey, Flip Lockwood. How's it going?
I was a fan of the NES Castlevania the second I took control of the main character and heard that timeless soundtrack. Then the others came along and endeared me to the franchise even more. As the years went on, I discovered more Castlevania titles I had never played, and some I had never even heard of. When I sat down with Castlevania on the Amiga for the first time, I was expecting something akin to the NES game being ported to the Sega Genesis. But what I got was nothing of the kind. It was released in 1990 and developed by
Here's Felix the Cat, issue 46.
The original Castlevania NES
The
edition.
cover's detached.
Presentation.
But
I use upgraded loosely, however, because some things here come off notably worse. There's no question the color use has been amped up in places, but the questionable art changes go into effect.
I'll let you
right
have
from
it for
the opening
$3.
zombies. I mean, these 10-foot tall hopping monstrosities look so out of place. I was also quite displeased
for
with the sound of the music.
1953, Felix the
While
Cat,
some Amiga games
46.
sound great, this is light years behind
Fair
the NES
condition.
original and just sounds wrong across the board.
The book
Every time
presents
you pick a
well.
familiar melody and think
It's
gonna
just
get
the
better,
cover is
it
detached.
turns off into some
For
out-of-place
$3,
change that
I mean,
destroys
come
it
on.
entirely. But as iffy as the presentation was, it's nothing compared to how broken the gameplay is. Choppy, stuttering, near slideshow levels of movement and animation take this from the classic it's based on to a broken mess of unplayable garbage. Just navigating the main character left and right feels wrong, and every jump feels like you are about to careen straight into a pit death. Most of the boss encounters are little more than whipping as fast as you can to kill
Here's
them.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, issue 6.
Through any amount of Dark Castle, Castlevania 64, or ET gameplay
I think
challenges,
that's
you have to play this shameful exhibition of
El Diablo on the cover.
wasting again. The developers and the publishers should have released their
Early
next game
appearance.
free
I
of
think
charge
Bad
to
Bunny
make
is
up
supposed
for
to
the
play him in a
status.
movie.
The mere fact that they felt this was worth money is just plain highway robbery. Platform apologists will try and tell you that it has its merits, and I disagree 100%. It's a shit show of monumental proportions.
Run for $6.
It should be stricken from history before it has a chance to disappoint any more fans of this classic IP.
Hey Sosa, hey Harley, hey War Comics, hey Pirates Guy.
Back to the Future 2 is point blank one of the worst games I've ever played. No hyperbole. This shit stains the title plays terrible, sounds bad, and has very simple visuals. It was developed by Images Limited and published by Image Works in 1991. PAL Territories received it, and I feel nothing but pity on the poor souls that paid money to own or rent it. Death comes swift and often.
All right,
more time looking at the title screen and cinematics than playing it. Absolute trash start to finish. In 1992, the PAL version of Back to the Future 3 was released, developed by Probe Software and published again.
Here's Ghost Rider 12.
This is not nearly as bad.
Looks pretty good. I'm going to check to see if it's complete, just to make sure. But, I mean, this is Johnny Blaze, the Johnny Blaze run. It looks good.
Gameplay found in the Genesis version, and I believe it's better here top to bottom. Not exactly good, but also not the disaster of the previous release. I had not played much of the 8-bit version of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and after 10 minutes, I really wish it had stayed that way. Released in 1994 by Acclaim, this is another on all of us. Pitiful gameplay just kills any chance this had at entertaining anyone. You are bombarded by the same few enemies every stage. Your arsenal includes a few different punches.
Yeah, I started at $6.
Useless You'll just run around roundhousing
It
everybody.
looks to be like
Tries
a
to
BG
come
slash
through with
fine,
stages,
fine minus.
ends up being another one that you can skip. How Acclaim lasted as long as
Looks
they
good.
did,
It looked good in your
cracking out
collection.
ripoffs like this is beyond me. Again, it's a PAL exclusive. I was immediately filled with dread upon starting up Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It was done by Tiertex and US Gold in 1990, and it's so incredibly unappealing. It's slow, the jumping mechanics are funky, and the time limit destroys any desire to play it long term. The visuals aren't bad, but there is no in-game music at all. After fighting with the pathetic control for 10 minutes, I was done. It's another shit game in this shitty roundup. Again, PAL regions were the only ones to get it. Oh man, here we go back to the awful third-party garbage. In 1993, Acclaim tried once again to rob you of your hard-earned money with RoboCop 3. You get the kind of design in this one that makes you want to stop playing it immediately. Constantly, there are enemies shooting you off the screen before you even have a chance
All
to
right.
respond. Who finds this kind of crap?
Maybe you
fun?
guys aren't into
How
Ghost
do you
Rider,
think
but
create AI that can see you
what about
long
G.I.
before you see
Joe?
them? And it's something that never
Hey,
lets up
Funkorama.
until
Hey,
you're done. To get
Azathac.
anywhere, you literally have
Hey,
to scroll the screen
Cliff
into the
Brown.
gun
Hey,
to see
Sosa.
the bullets first. This is the kind of shit that makes
What are you guys
dumpster
looking
fires
for?
enjoyable. Of all the sports games I was looking forward to on the Saturn, it was the NFL that I wanted the most.
Halo. I got Halo Fall for
Hopefully
Breach.
unprepared
I got
to give us one in
H-Bomb.
1995. In fact, it wasn't until the very end of
Hulk.
1996 before
Silver Age
NFL
Hulk.
97 showed up. And my God, what a disappointment it was. My hatred of this pile of shit is well documented
You guys tell
in
me.
my videos. Sega, unable and unprepared to make a quality game of their own, had to license a half-made travesty from another developer and had the gall to try and shove it on its poor Saturn fan base. Awful graphics, gameplay that was years behind its Genesis Montana series, and just an all-around failure of a product. It supports 8 players at once, but why would you do that to 7 other people? Not having a decent NFL title ready in 1995 was bad, but dropping this poisonous and unplayable garbage on the market was damn near unforgivable. Every employee at Sega of America involved should be ashamed of themselves. Acclaim was back again in 2000 with yet another attempt to steal your money with Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 2000. This dirt bike racer manages to defy the laws of physics and look like a PlayStation game all at the same time. There's no challenge at all. The bikes feel nothing like they should. The tricks are a joke, and despite being ugly as sin, the game manages to run poorly as well. Just hold the accelerator down, ride the walls, never fall off your bike, and win second place every single time. Not even features like a track editor and multiple race options can save this mess. Acclaim knew this steaming pile was busted and released it at a discount price, which should have been everyone's first clue that something was seriously wrong. Like a lot of these terrible releases, this one was ported from weaker hardware, this time the Nintendo 64. But at least there you had aging hardware to blame things on. On the Dreamcast, there was more than enough.
Hey everyone, Emerald Lagasse here, and I'm so excited to tell you about my biggest air fryer yet.
Introducing Emerald Lagasse's Dual Zone Air Fryer Oven with dual-sided cooking chambers. Now you can cook 2 different foods.
How's it going? Dave and Compost Investments. So got a ton of stuff back. Not in terms of quality or quantity, but quality. This stuff is probably like well over 100 grand worth of stuff. Just back here, this small little stack of stuff. I got some pretty cool books that I rarely ever, if at all, have ever gotten before. Very cool. Auction is finally done. It was very successful. Thank you for everyone that participated, whether you were a consigner or you bid. Got through the first week of shipping. Pretty much most things are paid for, so we do payouts. I think it'd be normally Friday, but Friday we have off with Thanksgiving. We're taking Thursday, Friday off, so it'll be that Monday. I think maybe it's 2 weeks from the Monday. I don't know. It's on the thing. I can't remember. It's Friday or Monday. We start paying people out. so a lot of people expect your money to start coming in. Also, hopefully by next quarterly auction, we will have a different payout system, and we'll be able to pay you out much faster. Right now, it's basically the 2-week window from when the auction ends to when we pay out. But hopefully, we're going to get that down to within a day or two. So very, very quick, quicker than anyone else. I sold some stuff through Heritage, and it's like a 3-month turnaround time to finally get paid. And that's pretty much how most auction houses are, very, very slow. And so we're going to speed that up, so it'll be pretty much within a few days. Hopefully, we're testing that stuff right now. Hopefully, it's ready for next auction, but can't make any promises. You know how things go. You never know what bugs we're going to run into when things don't work right. So, yes. So we're going to have like a whole, and also checking out, there's going to be a whole new system as well. Getting rid of most of those fees, unless you opt into paying those fees, like we have, like PayPal fee and stuff like that. We're gonna
Hey,
have
Vigilante Comics. Hey, TLC Comics. How's it going?
PayPal fees, and it'll just be simpler. Everything will be simpler, faster, and better. So yeah, hopefully we'll have that up by next auction. So if you want to,
Oh, that's a mistake. That's supposed to be $6, not $1.
A lot of people are like, I'm gonna wait till the very end to the deadline. I'm like, well, you can do that, but then you miss out on a lot of marketing. So it's better to get your stuff.
I don't know how I put $1 on there, but it's supposed to say 6. So if you guys decide to bid on that, I'm sorry, it's not for $1.
All right, first up is we got an all flash #1 in a 6.5. Let me make sure I can. There we go. With this nice new camera, you get better, less glare. I don't know. Maybe you can see the glare in higher definition. All flash #1 came back great. I was hoping for $6,000. This book coming up here pretty soon is blew both me and my brother away. Unfortunately, I'll tell you the unfortunate part, but it's not unfortunate. It's unfortunate for us, but not unfortunate for whoever the book belongs to. Okay. All winners #9 came back right. I wanted $6,000 as well. Like a lot of good gold made stuff in here. We also got this Spider-Man 14. First appearance of the Green Goblin. And a 7.0. Very nice grade for this book. $4,000. I thought this book was going to be a 6.065. So I would say this set right here of stuff we got back from CGC is pretty good. I got a lot of good grades. Very happy with the grades. One book beyond good. One book beyond, and then one book actually not so good. So we're resending that. It was an AF15. We were hoping for a much better grade, and it got 4.0. So we're going to try that one again. I don't know why they gave it, but it worked out for this book right here.
Okay.
The opposite. This one's the opposite. Now this book, Captain America #3. This is a classic.
Halo, Fall of Reach.
And it is Stanley's first work at Timely, which is Marvel, and he had a writing book. Look at this, a 6.5. Now, here is the crazy part. Now, it's
$8.
very beneficial for the person who owns this book. Now, I'll tell you what happened. So, me and my brother graded this, and we thought anywhere from like maybe a 4 or 5. That's what we kind of thought. Maybe it could get a 5.0. That's kind of like where we were sitting on this book. Both of us around that thing. Gets a 6.5. Now, this book doesn't belong to us. This book belonged to a consignor who sent it to us and wanted us to send it, and also wanted us to press and clean. So we do press and clean here. And if you want that service, we can do that for you. So here is a stipulation. We are cheaper than CGC. So just go to CGC's website. We will be cheaper than that to press and clean your book. We will press and clean. Now, we will do it, but if it doesn't make sense to do it, then we will recommend. We always give our recommendations. You just tell us what to do. So we will do that for you for a fee, and then we send it off. Once we send it off, though, there is kind of like this, hey, you're going to sell it to us. So it comes back to us. We then list it for sale either in the marketplace, or if it doesn't move or something, we'll put it in the auction, the next upcoming featured auction. So that's kind of a stipulation if you want us to do that service. Now, we thought the original person that owns this, or the current owner, he thought this was also about a 4.0, 4.5. We thought after we press and clean it, we thought we could get up to a 4.5, 5.0. Get to 6, 3, 5. So wow, we were totally blown away. It was very good news to give to. I mean, it looked really, really nice. It does look really, really nice. We made it really look really, really nice. So we're just very surprised. It looks a very, very nice book, but I'm just surprised. And so we're gonna list this for 46,000. This will be up in the marketplace, and yeah. So if that's a service that you guys want us to do, we will do that. Now we go. If you are a customer of ours and you want to sell, and that's why the stipulation of like, hey, you're gonna have to sell it through us. That's kind of the stipulation of doing it. And we're like, well, if we have that stipulation, then it will, get us more business for our auction sites and our buy now section, our marketplace. And it's a little thing of like, we'll do this. We're also, cheaper than CGC. We made sure we undercut them on every single tier, so it will be cheaper. But yeah, the stipulation is you have to sell to us. So if you're fine with that stipulation, then we will press and clean your book, whatever you want. Detective 140, first appearance for River. Wow, look at this. Gold, spinning gold here. Grade I wanted, 8,800. I know a lot of people have always asked me that. Like, do you press and clean? And I was saying yes, but I wonder if it makes sense. So, fans for number 4. So not every book, even books we send to CDC, we don't always press and clean them. It really has to make sense. And like for example, this one person came in, and he's a customer of ours, and he's like, yeah, he gave me a bunch of books. And he's like, will you press and clean these? And I looked at him like, I was like, of the 4, I was like, only one of them I would.
Who's coming in the driveway?
My daughter is being treated for leukemia. I hope that she lives a long, great, happy life, and that she will never forget how mom and
recommend, because even if we press and clean, it's not going to do anything. A lot of people have this notion where that just because you press and clean it, it's instantly going to make it better and you're going to get a better grade. No, that's not how it works. Every book is individualized. There are lots of books that we don't even touch because it would do nothing. It wouldn't add any value. So I was like, we don't recommend doing it. And most people always take our recommendation. Now, if you don't, I mean, there are some people that don't, and they say, just do it anyways. And we're like, okay. But yeah. Oh, first Submariner. Came back great. I wanted $38.99. Then we got 2 of these books. Unfortunately, they're in the same grade. I wish they were different grades. And then that 3 and 8. There we go. $52.99. This one, one of them, I think it was this one, I thought would be a 2.5, came back a 3.0, and this one I thought would be a 3.5 and came back a 3.0. So literally win some, lose some, ends up working out the same. $52.99. That's what they are. House Secrets, first Swamp Along. Full cover, Bernie Wrightson. Came back great. I wanted $19.99. Yes, $2,000. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I can say that too. First appearance of Wolverine. Bobby 75 got an 8.0, so good there. $45.99. So I was like thinking about this when I was pricing this one out. I was like, have we already sold all of the whole?
All right, here is Incredible Hulk 110 Marvel Silver Age 12 center. VG minus.
I don't even remember. Whatever the number was that I had, they're all gone, all sold. What I saw them in 6 months. So, Master Comics 29. Pretty rare book. I thought it'd be a 6.5, got a 6.0, 8,600.
$15.
This book, great. This one worked out fantastic for us. So this one, we thought it was going to be a 5.0, got a 6.0. So that is fantastic. Fantastic news. $12,999. So $13,000 for Superman 3. just looking at the art. I like looking at the art, especially like old ones. Here we go. Here's a Matt Baker. These books are extremely rare, and if you have one in Matt Baker, they're extremely expensive.
Hey DC260X, hey King Candy 28, hey Big Top, hey Climax Comics, hey Nick Sins, how's it going? Spartan John, hey Hobby Comics, hey Warm Fuzzies.
He is the first African American comic book artist. He is also the first gay artist, comic book artist. And also,
how's everyone doing? Yeah, everyone's here.
Yes. So Matt Baker, that was the thing with Matt Baker, is he drew the female form so well. He drew like, you ever seen that cover where Phantom Lady's like this and the dudes are like that? He drew her. I'm hoping I'm getting the art's not mixed up for this. But he drew her, and those covers are fantastically drawn, but worth very, very much. A lot of people love his covers. And he came in, I believe he was like 18 or 19 years old. He came into a studio trying to get a job. He was a teenager. I don't remember the exact age, but young. And he just had like a little drawing of a girl they drew. He showed it to, because they call them packers, and packers are basically like a studio would be today. And these studios would just get work from maybe Marvel or DC, usually like more smaller companies, not Marvel, DC, but smaller ones like St. John's. And they were like, here, draw us a comic about this, and then the studio would do it. So he went to the studio, and the guy said, this is the best looking female drawing of like a female character that I've ever seen, and came from this young artist. So he was very talented at a young age. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition, and he died at 37. So that makes his covers even more rare, because he's not one of these artists that, you know, has existed for a long time and just had cover after cover after cover after cover. So very limited amount of covers that he has, but a fantastic artist, especially in female form. So anytime a Matt Baker book pops up, it adds a premium to it, especially if it's a Phantom Lady Matt Baker. So fantastic artist, great artist. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition. I don't know exactly what his heart condition was. He died in like, I want to say it's like 50s. And a lot of artists during this time, like during like the 50s, there's a lull in comic books. Comic books kind of like started falling off after World War II, and it's kind of like disintegrated just next to like nothing by like, especially superheroes, by like 1950. It wasn't until the resurgence of the Silver Age with Showcase 4 that superheroes came back. So they kind of started falling out. Especially you got Western and romance stuff that kind of were doing it okay, and then some like sci-fi horror stuff that did some okay. But a lot of artists, there wasn't as much money in it, so they left and they became commercial artists. And so some of these old golden age artists really didn't. It wasn't like when Neil Adams got it, he was able to do comics in his entire career. There's a point, if you were a golden age artist, that the comics kind of like dried up, and so you had to switch careers. So a lot of them went into commercial art. So yeah, unfortunate for comic book artists during this time. But he, unfortunately, did not make it that far. Top Notch Comics number 22. Cool thing about this book, this is Archie's first appearance. So Archie's first appearance was in Pet Comics 22. But this predates Pet Comics number 2, but it has him in an advertisement. So it's sort of like Gobbledygook with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the first appearance of Turtles is actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1, but Gobbledygook 1 and 2 were kind of their first appearance because they had a big advertisement of them. So this is actually quite rare, and there's not that many of them, especially MLJ. There just really is not a lot of copies. So it's not, you can pick out a book like this, and there's not going to be hundreds on the census. There will be very few, and a lot of them are always in bad shape. So this is a 3.0. I thought it was 3.0, 3.5, got 3.0. 10 grand for that book. This book, unfortunately, did not fare well. Wonder Woman number 3